in terms of the theme, the reason why I thought it would be quite interesting to explore more kind of Reiki-centric themes is really to kind of invigorate our practice and maybe to get you thinking about other ways of doing your Reiki practice as well. And one of these things that have been coming up a lot is the ability to really ground ourselves and using Reiki as a tool to do that. Because I think sometimes, even when we're doing our Reiki practice, we're not always focused on the internal. Like, it's very easy to do our Reiki practice in front of the TV or when you're on the MRT and you're kind of looking at everyone else and you're not really looking inwards at your Reiki practice per se. You're more kind of, hanging out or daydreaming or that kind of thing. So I thought it would be quite important, I guess, to spend some time today just coming inwards with our practice, particularly at the moment, because I think it's very easy to get sucked into the drama. And I know there's been a lot of drama for the last couple of years, but honestly, since July, August time, it seems to have really ramped up. And it's almost as if we're being squeezed through an ever narrowing funnel. Does anyone else feel like that? It's like everything's like, oh. We're just like, oh. And it's pretty horrible. So often it's one of those things that we might be doing our Reiki practice and then kind of feeling, oh, okay, good. And then getting enough energy, but it's like we're getting enough energy in order to go back out into the mayhem. And actually, if we can more deliberately come into our strength when we're doing our Reiki practice, then when we complete and go back out into the world, not only do we feel reinvigorated, but we also feel strengthened. And this is something I think that is going to be really important for the coming months. I'm sorry to say that the funnel squeezing thing ain't going to be over till December. Sorry. So we've got a few more months of this squeezing. And actually, I'm going to say that with a little bit of a context. I think some of us, we're being squeezed through at different times. So I think for some of you, you might well have already felt the squeeze through August and popped out already in September and be having a great time. But I think this is the process. It's like we're being squeezed through something. There's a lot of releasing, a lot of relaxing, a lot of surrendering, and then we're being kind of popped out the other side, if that makes any sense, with the new direction. You know what I mean? It's kind of like we're just trying to find our way, and there's a few things we're letting go of, and maybe quite drastic changes. I don't know if anybody's moving house, moving jobs, moving relationships. There seems to be a lot of that going on at the moment. And so it's almost squeezing us through so that we're ready for 2022. It's going to be massive. 2022 is going to be massive. So we need to be in the right alignment so that we can kind of be facing in the right direction, right? If we're facing in the wrong direction, we're going to be hit with the energy sideways and it's going to knock us over. So that's kind of what these last couple of months have been about, and these next coming months are about. So this reinvigoration with our Reiki practice to really come into that inner strength is going to be more and more and more important. So this is when you're doing whatever your mindful practice is, it is not the time to be zoning out. It's a time to be resourcing. So what I mean by that is that when you, and we're going to do this in the meditation, but when you come into the mindful watching of the energy, and what I mean by that is kind of, okay, you're watching your breath and you're feeling into the hands and you're feeling into the sensations of the body, but also I want you to start looking out for the inner strength and the energy of support. And it's hard, when I say it, it's like, well, what's she talking about? But it's all there, it's here. the energy at the moment is very, very loving and supportive. And it's almost like there's a sort of flow to it that is very manifesting and creative. So again, I don't know if any of you are kind of noticing that you've got more ideas than normal, or you've just kind of got a little bit more motivation, a bit more fire up your butt, that kind of thing. Now, not all of you are going to be there yet. Some of you might have had it last month. Some of you might get it next month. Like, we're talking a 6-month kind of period where we're all starting to drop into our true purpose, if I'm allowed to say that without sounding too kitschy. But this is really my feeling for it. So yeah, so sometimes the Tamarin's saying that the energy is very anxious. I mean, even as I'm talking, I don't know if you can notice, but those of you who know me well, I'm like very jittery, more jittery than normal. And I can feel it all the way through my system. Now, to me, I interpret that sensation as anticipation. So this is the other thing, is to be checking in with yourself. Is it really anxiety or is it anticipation? Because there's a lot of confusion at the moment because there's so much energy. It's very easy to think, oh, I'm overwhelmed. Instead, though, just really check in. Like, am I really overwhelmed, or am I maybe just so full of this intense energy that I don't know what else to do with it or what else to call it? So I'm just going to call it overwhelm. Because there's a lot of that rhetoric at the moment, right? Like, everyone's like, oh my God, it's so challenging. Oh my God, I'm so anxious. Oh my God, oh my God. And so then you're like, okay, this vibration I'm feeling in my body must be anxiety because everyone else is anxious. But maybe everyone else is just mislabeling it too. And this is my feeling. I think a lot of us are mislabeling and we're misinterpreting the energy that is really arriving at the moment. And so it is very intense. Like, at the moment, I can feel it like all the way through my system. But it actually feels like, and in a minute, we're going to settle it all down. And then as you settle it down with me, as we do it together in a group, just check in. Like, is it really anxiety, or is it just a very fired up kind of energy of creative potential? Now, creative potential, when we really run with it, can be very exciting, but it can also feel quite adrenaline buzzy, over caffeinated. If you've ever had those kind of moments before where you're just kind of, oh, I've got all these great ideas. Blah. And so this is really what I'm encouraging us to do when we do our Reiki practice, is to really start to get in contact with what these energies that are all around us and in us and flowing through us, what's really happening. And don't just be so quick to label. Like, really just come into it and see what it feels like. So, yes, does that feel like something interesting? So the way that we do the meditation is, for those of you who are new to Reiki, you just relax and follow along in terms of the guidance and just kind of do your best. I do give a what we call an attunement. It's a heart attunement, or a Reiju, which is like a kind of activation. So I will ask you to bring your hands into Gasho, which is just a prayer pose in front of your heart center. And then after a couple of moments, I would then get you to just place your hands anywhere on your body that feels comfortable. And if you are feeling a little bit anxious or a little bit disturbed, then actually the best hand position would be to have one over your heart center and one around the solar plexus. So the solar plexus is kind of where the ribs, the soft bit where the tummy is, in between the ribs. But you can put your hands really wherever it feels stable. You know, when you put your hands there, you just kind of feel, okay, that's like I'm just stabilizing myself, or I'm centering myself. And then we do a little guided meditation. We're going to go and feel into the energy, not only inside us, but also connecting in with the fact that it really is flowing all around us. And then, sorry, I'm just muting everyone because there's a bit of feedback. And then just kind of seeing if you can get that awareness that we've been talking about around, okay, there is a lot of energy, but then when I really start focusing in on my inner core, can I start to feel this inner strength? Because that inner strength is really active at the moment. It's really calling out to be noticed. And so this is what would be great if you guys come with me and we kind of notice this impact together, because I think if we keep dipping in like this, then it does become a very powerful resilience for us as we move forward. And then hopefully we can start to notice, okay, some of this anxiety is actually just misplaced energy that needs to have a kind of focal point, and that focal point being inwards rather than outwards. Because at the moment, there's a lot of outward demand for our attention. And most of that demand is not really very relevant. You know, it's like social media and people's gossip and people panicking and talking at you and things like this. We don't have to pay so much attention to it, to be honest. Okay, so I turn off my video because I just find it easier to concentrate like that. And so you guys can keep your videos on or off. It doesn't really matter, but we're going to start off by bringing hands into prayer pose. So Gasho, in front of your heart center. And anybody that is wanting to also give an attunement, then please feel free. And for the rest of you, you're just relaxing, starting to take a few breaths, bringing your attention down from the mind into the breath itself, into the chest, into the heart center. And right up at the top of your crown, imagine a lotus. And you're just going to open those petals so that your crown chakra is nice and open as we bring in the Reiki all the way down into the heart center. And then as you breathe, you can imagine the Reiki coming all the way down into the heart center and out, down the arms, into the hands. So inhaling energy down through the crown into the heart center, exhaling energy all the way down into the hands. And then whenever you're ready, just bringing your hands somewhere on your body. So it could be the heart and the solar plexus, or you could find a different resting place that feels more comfortable for you. And we're going to start off just steadying ourselves and noticing the hands. Maybe you might be feeling the Reiki or sensations or perhaps heat or tingling. Or you might be observing that under the hands, in the chest or the tummy or wherever your hands are, that there's just a gentle diffusion of Reiki. You might even notice it as heat or tingling, or just a feeling of calmness. So using the breath as well. Every exhale, just relaxing the body a little bit deeper. all the way down. So checking in on the body, relaxing the face, the shoulders, into the chest and belly, into the hips, all the way down to the feet. And just through the redirection of focus from the mind down into the body, we start to settle. Just becoming aware of your own energy system, how your body feels. And now imagining your aura around you. You could fill it with a beautiful white or golden light, or you might be drawn to different colors. Imagine all the area around you, about 3 to 4 feet surrounding your physical body, is filled with light. And when you bring your attention to your aura again, just noticing how that settles you, makes you feel a bit calmer, a bit more grounded. And now we're going to tune into each and every one of us, sharing our Reiki with the intention of coming together as a supportive group, tuning in to each and every person on the call or listening afterwards. And as you bring your attention to the group, you may notice a change in the energy, maybe a feeling of expansion or a lightness or increase in intensity or vibration. Seeing if you can notice the support and love. And being surrounded with this group energy now, bringing your attention back into the heart center. Feeling right in the middle of your chest, a brilliant, intense white light. Using the breath, inhaling, intensifying, exhaling, allowing that white light to disperse throughout your whole body. Doing this a couple of times. Feeling the steadiness that this brings. beginning to feel the harmony now within your body, your aura, and also the environment around you. Seeing if you can feel into the sameness or similarity. The environment around you is peaceful and calm. Even if there's noise or traffic, you're looking for the underlying stillness, the underlying feeling of peace. Underneath any noise or disturbance. Notice it's running through you. It's running through the air around you. You might even be able to feel it in the chair, the wall. Maybe you can extend outwards into the trees or into the buildings around you. A deep sense of connectedness. Noticing that as you sit here, simply communing with your environment, how everything feels settled. Even the energy you might have been feeling quite intensely before now feels harmonious, congruent, aligned, and balanced. And in this state of peace and alignment, if there are any issues that you're personally struggling with, you can simply ask to be resourced, strengthened, and supported. Noticing the feeling coming from within your own body, perhaps from your solar plexus or your base, perhaps from your heart chakra. Just noticing where the feeling is coming from inside your own body. It's not coming from outside of you or from a different place or person. It's coming from within your very being. Letting it disperse through your entire cellular structure, expanding out into the aura. You don't have to think about the issue or problem. You simply have to check in with the support and the strength, feeling it energetically in your body. And then the how, the when will come. Just relaxing. Enjoying the energy. And asking now that you be pointing in the right direction for your next step, next unfolding, next right action. And feeling the support for this too. Without thinking or judging, without trying to work it out. Simply asking and sitting in the resultant support and strength that you feel from within your own core. Taking a few more breaths now, bringing in that intensity, imagining the light from the heart center all the way around your body once again. Feeling all the edges of your aura, making sure that it's full, that the boundary is clear. Almost as if you have a very translucent bubble around you, a clear definition of your own space. But also the feeling of transparency so that you are open to your environment as well. Very gently, just starting to notice the physical body now. The top of the head, the face, the neck and shoulders. All the way down the arms to the hands. Deepening the breath in the chest. All the way down into the belly, the hips, the knees, the feet, toes. Giving your feet and toes a little squeeze and a wiggle. The same for your hands. Raising your arms above your head. Giving yourself a stretch and a little shake all the way down the spine. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes. How is everybody?
Thank you, Elaine.
You're so welcome. Did you get the feeling of it?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Very intense. Thank you.
It's very, I love doing group work because when we come together like this, there's such a powerful kind of sharing of energy that happens. But then it's also a very individual thing, right? Because you really feel the strength of your own body and your own energy and your own system. But then you're also very aware that you're being very supported by everyone else in the group, so it's like such a cool thing to do.